Hi everyone, so today I'm actually kind of doing a different video and it's going to be called Throughout the Years. And this is going to be like from when I was born to kindergarten stage. So I actually love watching these videos. I don't know how many people on YouTube have actually done these videos, but I know that the more I watch them, the more I feel like I want to do them. So I'm going to be talking about from the time I was born to daycare, and I hope you guys like this video and leave a video response telling me how you lived when you were from when you were born to daycare years, and you can kind of go through with me. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, and this might be a long video, so I apologize now. Okay, so I don't really remember that much from when I was that young because, I mean, that's like really young, but I do remember going to a couple of different daycares, and yeah, so I guess my story starts when I was really little, and I would do anything for attention when I was like 2 and 3 and stuff. So I would like throw tantrums and stuff, but doesn't every kid? I hope so. Otherwise, I'm just really weird. Anyways, yeah, so when I started going to a daycare, her name was Susan, and she was a really nice lady. She was like probably one of my favorite people, like adults I've ever met, 'cause she was very, very kind, very nice, and was she was like that authority figure for me at that time. So, and while I was there, with her when I was like, I want to say 3 or 4 probably, I met my first best friend there. So he was, he was full of energy and he was crazy, but that's why we made such great best friends, because we were crazy together, because we kind of had the same personality. So I remember though that my daycare person, Susan, she had a dog, and his name was Oreo, and he was like this little dog, and he was small, but like I was 3, so I was scared of him because he was mean. He was a mean dog, and I didn't understand it because like Susan loved it so much, but I just thought he was like a mean little thing. And one time it was nap time, and what she'd always do for nap time was she'd take the cushions out of her couch and we'd lay on her cushions, because I mean we're short, so I mean we fit on the cushion and stuff. So she'd take the cushions off the couch, and I remember laying there on the cushion one time, and it was nap time, and the dog was sitting on like the actual couch, and he was looking down at me, and I'm just like, dog. And then he bit me. Like, I went up to pet him, and he bit me. And I was like, last time I tried to pet you, Oreo. So, yeah, he was a mean little thing. Like, I tried to pet him, and he bit me. I was mad. But, yeah, so yeah, and then I think, like, we had gotten out of that, and I went to another babysitter because she had, I can't remember why we left Susan's, but she didn't do anything bad. I think it was just like my age was too old for her, and she wanted to get like new kids who were younger. So she had gotten another dog anyways, and I think his name was Reese or something like that. Yeah, but that dog was even meaner than Oreo, and I was like, you need to get some nicer dogs. So I don't know how I could have been so little and like hated those 2 dogs, but now I grow up and I'm like such a dog person. Like anytime there's a dog, I'll be like, oh, and I'll go pet it. But yeah. So after we moved from Susan's, my best friend who went to Susan's with me, he didn't move with me to the daycare I went. So that was kind of hard because I mean he was my first best friend and stuff, and that made it, I mean, special because he was my first best friend. But now, like, he's in like youth group with me and things like that, so I still see him, but he doesn't remember me, and it kills me because he doesn't remember me. How do you forget your first best friend? My mom said, but I don't know, he just must have a really bad memory. So when we moved to this new babysitter, her name was Pam, and I remember when we were going to her, like after probably a couple months, maybe, I don't know how long it was, but while in the course of me going to that daycare, she moved. So she was an awesome daycare person. She would always take us to the rec center. She would always take us places. She would take us swimming, or she would take us to go play in the gym or something like that. She never let us be bored. So even when we were staying at her house for the day, she made sure that we were always busy. We always had something to do. And that was really cool because, I mean, we never got bored. We never really had to stop being a kid and, stop having fun. So we would do that a lot. And I remember one day she set up a kiddie pool outside her house, and we were all very, very excited because, I mean, it's swimming. So, and I believe it was because a bunch of the older kids who were just a grade older than me were leaving. And the funny thing is that I was as old as those kids because my birthday is really close to our school cutoff day. It's 48 hours after our school cutoff day. So if I would have been born 48 hours earlier than when I would have been in a grade higher than I am now. So technically my age is the same as all of those kids that were older than me. So I didn't understand, like when I was that young, why they were all leaving and stuff. But she had this huge, well, it wasn't huge, but it was huge to me because I was so small. She had a play set, and it had like a slide and a door that you walked in, and it was plastic, and it was like, I wish I had a picture, but I don't. Um, but it was like different colors, and it was really, really cool. And she set up the pool right by it. So she took a picture, and we were all in our bathing suits, and it was like a bunch of older girls that were older than me who were like really popular now. Like they are really, really popular. So I kind of look back on it like, that's weird. Like I knew all of them before they became like these huge people at our school. Anyways, so we were all in our bathing suits. She took a picture of us all on the play set, and there were only two boys in this daycare group. And I know one's name is/was Drew, and then another one was, I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah. So yeah, it was fun that day too because we would swim, and then we'd go run over to the slide and like slide down it and stuff. It was a fun place to be. And I remember she would still make us have nap time and all of that stuff. So yeah, it was like a fun like day. And I always like love Pam. She's a great person, and I don't really get to see her much, but I know her daughter is actually a teacher at my old elementary school. So or wait, no. Her daughter is a teacher at a school I went to, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that was a fun experience. So I guess now we'll talk about preschool. So preschool was very, very interesting. I had to take 2 years of preschool. I'm not sure how many, because I know a lot of my friends didn't have to take 2 years of preschool, and then some of them did, but I had to take 2 years of preschool, and I went to kind of a religious preschool, and it was okay. It was, I mean, looking back on it now, I really liked it, but like at the time, I was like, ugh, I have to go to school. Like, I didn't want to go to school because I was little and it was like my first year going to school and things like that. But I met a lot of really great friends there. I mean, I really did. And one of my best friends at the time, like my bestest friend at the time, is now, we don't talk anymore, but because she's this really popular girl at her school. So she's like super duper popular, and I'm not. So that effectively ends that friendship. But it was fun while it lasted. I mean, we were pretty good friends while we were there. And I remember we'd have these show and tell days where we had to come in wearing something that starts with the alphabet, so we'd have to bring something in, and then and we'd go through the alphabet like a couple of times. And I remember it was one time, and the letter was B, and I forgot something that started with a B, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Because show and tell is in like 5 minutes. And then one of my teachers was like, "Oh, that's okay, you're wearing a belt." And I'm like, "Yay!" Yeah. But I have these really weird memories. I remember that me and my friend would always go when they had like the playtime. We would always run, and they had this phone, and it was a real phone, but it wasn't like plugged in or anything. But it was like one of those old phones with, the thing that you take out of like the tray, and then you hold it up to your ear, and it has the cord, and then you have to put it down in the tray, and it's not like travelable. And then they had a fake keyboard, so it would be, I mean, it would be just like a keyboard like this, but like it was huge. It was like a 90s keyboard. And didn't work. It wasn't plugged into anything, and we would always run straight over there every time. Every time the playtime started. So that was, I mean, yeah. And then I remember too that that was the year that I got my first enemy, or so I liked to call it at that time. I realize now that enemies are a lot different than what I thought they were. But this guy was so mean to us. And I think it was because he had a crush on my friend, because he would like follow us just to be mean to us. And like I didn't understand why he had to be so mean to us. And he was just like, I remember that we had these fake, they were like cardboard blocks. They were like this big, and they were like stacking blocks, but they were made of cardboard. And we wanted to go write something on the chalkboard, because that was a fun thing to do too, is like play on the chalkboard and write on the chalkboard. And he built those blocks so we couldn't get to the chalkboard. And so I remember going, "You can't tell me what I can't play with," and I like kicked him all down, and he started crying. And I remember too that like one time he was like, "I'm gonna kill you tomorrow." So we went up and told the teacher, we're like, "We just got death threats, all right?" And yeah, but this guy was like so mean to us. We were constantly at war with him, and I don't know what he wanted. He was just mean, and yeah, I don't know. But if he's watching this, which I doubt he is, you were mean. Anywho, and then in preschool, I also developed my first crush, which was really early. Like, a lot of my friends just like had their first crush like last year or the year before. So, having my first crush in preschool, that's like crazy. But I remember him, he was really, really tall, and I don't know. He liked this other girl in my class though, and she was really tall and she was really pretty. And it devastated me that I liked this guy so much and he didn't like me back, and he liked this girl, this other girl who like every guy in our class liked. So I was like, ugh, so unfair. But now I realize that happens a lot. But that's my story of from when I was born to preschool. It was just beginning kind of phase, you don't really know what to think, because those are the days, you're just getting started in life, and you're just like, you think everything's the end of the world, but it's not, because you realize when you turn like 15 that the world might actually end, because there's so many jerks out there. But it's all okay. So yeah. So my next video will be first grade, and then I'll do another video about second grade, and then another one about third grade, and then another about fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and so on. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and leave a video response about what happened to you between the time you were born and preschool, because I think it'd be really interesting to see. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and bye.